Andre says, one more question. When training for hypertrophy, would you advise doing one set to failure, multiple exercises, 2 to 3 per body part, 2 to 3 times a week, or would you suggest more volume? If you are able to truly go to failure, anywhere from 1 to probably 3 sets per body part is probably sufficient. If you're really going to failure, I don't think most people pushing hard enough can tolerate much more than that. But again, most people really struggle to go to momentary muscular failure. When I worked at my last job before I opened the studio, one of my favorite things to do was to take people that were into health and fitness to the gym with me, and I would put them through a workout because I had a reputation as a guy that didn't train very long and trained very infrequently, but still looked pretty good. So I would take people that were personal trainers on the side or were into health and fitness or bodybuilding, and I would take them to the gym and I would put them through one of my workouts. And one of my favorite examples was a young lady that is a certified personal trainer. She works a second job. And I had her on leg extensions. And my plan was to have her superset leg extensions into a leg press. The whole leg workout was, I think, 4 sets. So she gets on leg extensions. She hits number 15 on her own and says she's done. She hit failure. I egged her on a little bit, and without her stopping, she got up to, I think, 23 on her own. And then I made her do forced repetitions till the point where I thought she hit what I would call real momentary muscular failure. From there, she hobbled over to the leg press, could barely do leg press, 1 set of leg curls, and then she cramped up on 1 set of calf raises. So I think with enough intensity, 1 to maybe 3 sets of muscle group is probably sufficient. But if you can't get that much intensity, if you can't train to muscular failure, you're going to need a little bit more volume. And the frequency, I think, is going to come down more to your recovery ability. So whatever amount of volume you're doing in your workout, if you're relatively new to strength training, train Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or train every other day. And if you start noticing after a time as you're getting stronger, where you kind of hit a plateau in most, if not all exercises, then I would consider reducing either the amount of exercise volume that you're doing at that point. If you're doing 3 sets of muscle group, maybe take it down to 2. Or if you're doing, 3 to 4 exercises for a muscle group, reduce that a little bit. And if you're already down to 1 or maybe 2 sets at that point, then instead of 3 times a week, I'd probably look at going to 2 times a week. But these are all knobs that you have to dial. And a lot of it's dependent on how hard you can push those sets. And a lot of that's going to be dependent on your diet too. I know I train very, very minimal compared to a lot of people. I do basically 1 set per muscle group, depending on how you're defining it. And I train once every 3 to 4 days doing a push-pull leg split. So call it whatever volume and frequency you want to. But it takes a lot to get to that point. And if my genetics would allow me to train more frequently, I would train more frequently because I like the mental benefit of pushing myself hard in the gym. And I like pushing a set to where I feel like I'm going to throw up. I like doing leg presses so hard that I want to cry by the time the set's over. And Lord knows there have been times where I've had tears running down my face when a set's over. I like that feeling. But not everybody has to push that hard. So I'm sorry, I can't give a more precise answer than that, but I hope that answers your question.